they're not a flashy offense, Terry.
Yeah.
You know, they got to do a lot more going into the playoffs. And if they want to win those big games going deep into the playoffs, they got to become flashy on the offensive side of the ball. They got to take chances. They got to throw those deep balls. They got to use Bo Nix to the most potential that he could possibly, you know, establish himself as a quarterback and use his strengths to, you know, their advantages. Yes, their defense is going to play well, but that offense needs to step it up to a whole nother level and get over that hump in the playoffs. They're fine in regular season.
What do you get over the hump? What are you talking about? What do you want him to do? He's not throwing touchdown passes.
They're just winning. They're squeaking by with these wins. What they got to do is they got to show that they can go down the field.
Did you not say win?
They are winning, but when it comes to playoffs, they're going to be facing the best of the best, Terry, and they're going to need those, you know, deep ball throws. They're going to need the run game. They got to figure out how to score in the red zone as well. You got to score points in the playoffs to win.
Sean's running the football, 152 yards rushing today. You know what? Take that every week, right?
Yep.
Their quarterback over 200 yards passing, 31 for 38. No interceptions, no touchdown. That's good. That's good, solid offensive football.
31 completions for 212 yards. That's dink and dunk.
Exactly. They got to become more
ball
flashy.
Control offense.
It's not me, Bo.
They got to get a
It's not
spark.
exciting.
It's not me, Bo.
Yes.
All right, so let's switch over to the
No, Gronk. The Denver Broncos do not need to become flashier. Okay, when you hold your opponents to 18 points per game, you don't need to be flashier. Matter of fact, Denver's the most complete team in the NFL, and I'll say it one more time. So the best 8 run defenses in the NFL are all in the playoffs. Of those 8 teams, 5 of them lead the NFL in total defense, meaning total yards given up. Of those 5 teams, there's 3 that are also in the top 10 in passing defense. All right, these are the complete defenses. It doesn't matter if you throw it, you run it. If you're really good in the run game, they throw it. I don't have to explain this to you. You understand. The Packers, the Broncos, and the Texans. Now, of those 3 teams, there's only 2 teams that are in the top 15 in passing yards offensively. It's Green Bay and the Broncos. And of the Broncos and Packers, there's only one team that's top 15 in running the ball, and it's the Broncos. I know nobody wants to talk about it. Yes, Denver's not blowing out their opponents. Who gives a shit? There's never been this many one-score wins ever. And to be on the right side of 11 of those in a row tells you that Denver is a legitimate team. Denver's been able to do this week in and week out. And now you're saying that if they want to win, they're going to have to become flashier. Like, do you not think the Chiefs knew that the playoffs were on the line 3 weeks ago when we played them? Was that not a playoff game? I mean, Tony Romo said this is like a playoff atmosphere because it was. It was. Denver needed to beat the Chiefs in order to say this is our division, and the Chiefs needed to win that game in order to make the frickin' postseason. That was a postseason game, and guess what? We didn't win that game by becoming flashier. I still don't know what the hell that means. Teams have always been able to have success in January because of their ability to play strong defense and run the football, and this is no secret. What about running the ball and playing good defense is flashy? Nothing. And there's a glaring hole in Buffalo. Such a bad run defense that their opponents actually average the fewest amount of pass attempts than any team in the NFL. Teams don't throw it against Buffalo because Buffalo can't stop the run. There's a weakness in Houston offensively. There's a weakness in Kansas City. There's a weakness in... I'm sitting here trying to think, like, who's this other team that we have to get flashier to beat? And I can't come up with it. 10 years ago, the Super Bowl was in Santa Clara. This year, Super Bowl 60, it's in Santa Clara. Remember who won the Super Bowl 50? The Denver Broncos. Do you remember that Peyton Manning was so bad that he was benched for Brock Osweiler? He was so bad that even when Manning got healthy again, they left Brock Osweiler out. And if it weren't for him throwing 3 interceptions against the Chargers week 17, Peyton Manning never comes back into our final season. But he did. We came back and beat the Chargers and then won all of our playoff games and won the Super Bowl because of Von Miller, a defensive player that won Super Bowl MVP. And guess what? There was nothing flashy about the offense in that Super Bowl win. So when you say that the Broncos have to become flashier to beat a team, I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite?
Rob, do yourself a favor. If you're getting paid to talk about all the games on Sunday, make sure that you don't just glance at the scoreboard and think you saw the game. Denver was winning this game by 17 points with 3 minutes and 56 seconds left. And they stopped playing. They started running the ball, and the Raiders thought, oh, let's try to get some pride points on the board. And I don't have to convince you of that. They kicked a game-losing field goal. I've never seen this before. They kicked a field goal as time expired, so they would lose by 7 instead of 10. I don't care if you guys don't have time to watch the games to get the full context, but hire somebody that can give you better notes. Don't look at the freaking score. 17-24. Denver was in a close game with the Raiders. I am a very passionate fan, and when we're on the brink of losing, I am a wreck. When I tell you that there wasn't a single second in this game that I was worried, I am not making that up. This game was never close. Denver was better in all 3 phases. It's just ridiculous to even allude to the point that Denver is barely beating their opponents and using this game as an example. Just do better. That's all I can say.